Good day, students. Welcome back to our class. Today is another learning session. I hope you are ready. So last time, we have already discussed lesson 1 and lesson 2, which are about music of medieval and Renaissance period. For today, we are going to discuss about the music of Baroque period. So, ang Baroque music ay istilong Europeo na sumikat noong 1600 hanggang 1750. It was popular for the development of counterpoint, which is the combination of the different melodic lines in a single musical composition and harmonic complexity. So, areas which are formally constructed songs. So, ang mga areas ay ginagamit sa opera sa panahong ito. So, these are some distinct characteristic of Baroque music. So, number one, the use of basso continuo, kadalasang tinutugtog kasama ng harpsichord o organ. So, the use of doctrine of affections. Isang estilo kung saan meron lamang isang mood sa kabuuan ng musika. So, the use of string instruments tulad ng violin, cello, at string bass. So, the use of major and minor system or modulation from one key to another related key was made possible. So the use of another musical form such as binary and fugue. The use of choral opera and dance suit in secular music. The use of energetic rhythm, long melodies, and many ornaments. So the development of contrast through dynamics, texture, and timbre. Now, let us discuss the four prominent musical styles during the Baroque period. So, Concerto Grosso is a musical composition characterized the use of concertino, so a small group of solo instruments. So, instead of concerto, a full orchestra, sumikat ito noong 1675. So si Giuseppe Torelli ay nakagawa ng pagpapayaman ng Concerto Grosso. So Giuseppe Torelli finalized three Concerto Grosso or the three movement structure. So fast, allegro, slow, adagio, and moderate, andante. So Torelli developed a significant style that used ritornello, recurring musical section in a composition. So another great contributor was Antonio Vivaldi, so who standardized and established Concerto Grosso. Siya din ang unang nagpakilala sa mga instrumentong flute, bassoons, at horns. For him, adagio and allegro are equally important movements. So the fugue is the type of musical composition based on a principal theme or subject. So its melodic lines called counterpoint imitate the principal theme. So it uses simple tune which repeated by other voices or instrumental parts with a small or partial variation. So nag-umpisa ito noong 16th century kasama ang Richicari na isang composition ng instrumental na may isa o maraming tema. These are the different composition of a fugue. Exposition. First part where the subject is played. So subject, principal theme, and the first statement of the subject performed by a single voice. Answer. Second statement of the subject transposed to the dominant key. Counter subject accompanies the subject constantly. Episode. Transitional section between the restatement of the subject. So pedal point, a tone held as the other voice make different harmonies. Stretto occurs when the subject and answer overlap. Augmentation, the lengthening of the rhythmic value of a subject. Diminution, the shortening of the rhythmic value of a subject. Inversion, the revising of the intervals of the subject. So the third musical style is the oratorio. It is narrative text and extended composition for a vocal soloist, chorus, and orchestra, commonly based on non-liturgical biblical stories. So kadalasan itong hinahalin tulad sa opera. Ngunit hindi ito ginagamitan ng pag-arte, kasuotan at iba pa. So usually contains overture, the instruments alone. Areas, using by vocalists. Recitative, usually employed to advance the plot. Add choruses to convey the sense of glory. So ito ay pinasikat noong 17th and 18th century. So the last one is the choral. It is a metrical hymn tune associated with the Lutheran Church in Germany. So ang mga liriko ng Lutheran choral ay naisulat ng wikang Latin na kalaunan ay isinalin sa vernacular na wika. So the melodies of the choral were borrowed from secular song which demonstrated structural and melodic simplicity. Now let's discuss two famous composers during the Baroque period. So Johann Sebastian Bach was a German composer and organist. Siya ay naging tanyag sa pagiging malikhain, tunay na magaling sa pag-imbento at likas na kagalingan sa musika. So he used his skill to finish many organ compositions and he was able to produce cantatas, a narrative musical or music pieces for voices with instrumental accompaniment. So Bach's style was influenced by many Italian compositions, most especially by Vivaldi concertos. At ito ang mga kanyang sikat na likha. George Frederick Handel, ay kilala bilang isa sa mga pinakamagaling na kompositor sa panahon ng Baroque period. So he was known for his English oratorios and his contribution to the English sacred and secular vocal music and instrumental music, particularly the concerto. So he was the director of the Royal Academy of Music, becomes London's leading composer and director of the Italian operas. So humigit kumulang 40 sa kanyang mga opera ay base sa kwento ng mga bayani sa kasaysayan. So heto ang mga famous works ni Frederick Handel. Before we finish with our discussion, do this activity first. give the characteristics of the four musical styles during the Baroque period: concerto grosso, fugue, oratorio, and choral. So, that's it for today. I hope you've learned a lot. I'll see you next time. Goodbye and God bless.